Hi everyone, it's kilzhot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead, Carl's Goodbye and Random Thangs. So first I want to start out, I know I promised you guys on Monday night nothing could keep me down, even though I was a little nasally. Yesterday I did have to cancel the stream. I know a couple people had asked, was there a stream? Nope, it's officially been rescheduled for tonight. Tuesday night is our Walking Dead and Random Things. So tonight we're going to carry that over, and then tomorrow night we'll get back into our serious Walking Dead chat. And also, OU Crawfish has got this thing going already. It's the first super chat I think we've seen before a stream. I mean, maybe there was another one, but thank you so much for that super chat. I scrolled through really quick, saw it pop up on my screen, but thanks for getting this party started early on. We got some good topics to talk about tonight. They are extremely random, and at first glance, you may not get all of them, but we will tie them together in one way or another. So thank you so much for being here, and let's just get right into it. So we're going to talk about escape rooms. So I know this was a topic, I think maybe a couple months ago, we talked about the horror movie escape room. Well, I finally got to participate in an escape room, and I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know how many of you out there have been in an escape room, and just let me know your experience. I'm going to call on a few people. While you're thinking about that, type in your comments. I do want to take a minute to say your comments do not show up in the video. They're streaming along the side, so whatever you type over there is open season. I'm liable to call on you, read your name, and put you as a permanent part of this video. Also, whenever this video goes live, make sure you get over to the comment section, leave a lot of comments so people can answer your questions, give me a chance to look over some of your questions, and tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. So here we go, and we should have a few comments popping up here in a second, just as far as escape room. I got one already. What's that? I'll tell you. Several people have never heard of it. Okay, well, then... Oh, MD Grim Reaper. You know, I'm going to read that. He says, does my first marriage count? Well, I guess if it's your ex, then you probably don't care. Okay, well, some people have never heard of it. They don't know what exactly it is. So let me get into it, and sorry, everybody. We were briefly interrupted. Are we back? Make sure we're back, because we had about a five seconds of downtime. Just want to make sure. If you guys are back, give me a quick 9 and 9 in chat. Make sure we're coming through loud and clear before I get into the explanation. This broadcast is... See, it is creepy. You start talking about escape rooms, and then just something jumped in there. Did I say like a buzzword? Yeah, it was okay. Just long... There you go. All right, cool. Okay, some people are asking what is an escape room. It's basically where they lock you in a room, and you're with other people, and there's codes and clues and keys and different ways. You got a time limit, usually about an hour, to get out of this room. So really got to band together, use all your resources. Some of it is in, they got black lights and they got codes on the walls, and you got to decipher different things. If it can give you a headache, that's for sure, because just a lot of thinking power. And I don't know, a lot of people when they're trying to enjoy their time, not everybody enjoys like using all that brain power. Sometimes you just want to veg out, just sort of hang out a little bit. But so some of the people, that's what it is. And what I wanted to do is see if you guys that have been in an escape room once. Darko's like, it's like Saw. Yeah, a little bit without the dying. I mean, you hope that you don't get into something that's ran by a bunch of creepy people. I guess even worse, it wouldn't be like the place that's running it. It would probably be if you went in there with some random people and you just didn't know all the people that you were in there with. So now that you know what the concept of an escape room is, and there's a horror movie out there if you guys want to. I don't want to public and give it free advertising, but yeah, it's creepy too. It's called Escape Room. And so if you think about it, the two movies that are really out there, Saw and Escape Room, neither one of them are very fun movies. No, it's not a clue. It's clues. It's like several different things. So like one clue will give you a key, and that key opens up a door, and it goes into another door, and all of them are different. So you can like open up all the doors and you're done, or sometimes it's a computer code or something that just you just get out. It all depends on the place and how they do it. So what is a and I was thinking, I don't know if there's a Walking Dead escape room. So maybe Scott Gimple, who we hope has been watching some of our streams, it's out there. No, no, no. If time runs out, you don't die. Negan is awesome. You just lose. You just don't get on the leaderboard. Yeah, you guys are going to make this. You guys are going to make this difficult for me tonight, aren't you? I can tell. All right, well, I guess if you don't know what an escape room is, then it'd be hard to give advice on how to build one. But anyway, I thought, why not a Walking Dead escape room? So you're locked in this room, and then the concept would be at the end, you get bitten or attacked. You don't literally get bitten, but that would be the mindset. And then you just got to find a way to use different Walking Dead clues to get yourself out. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? The next topic, I'm going to make sure it's a little bit more universally known. How about something that we can all sort of relate to? Bruno Mars bars. This is not a candy bar. This is real. So I got to give you guys just a little tidbit of news. This is a casino, and this kind of caught me as a little bit odd. So MGM National Harbor is selling a Bruno Mars created cocktail. And the price of this is just going to absolutely blow you away. I'm going to tell you what all it entails. So when I first saw it, I was like, whoa. Okay, this is a Bruno Mars inspired cocktail at MGM. It's $75,000. So I'll get your first response, and then I'm going to tell you what's in it. So it looks like it is, so Bruno Mars has recently gotten, a lot of people, George Clooney has his own tequila. So Bruno Mars evidently has his own rum, and it's called Salve Ray. And it's got orange curacao in it as well. Curacao. All right. And it is a, sorry, I'm a little down on my liqueur pronunciations. I'm not a heavy liqueur drinker. But it has also fresh lemon sour, and the name of the drink is called 24K Cable Car Cocktail. But it also comes with something else. So it's literally has, it's gold crust around the cup, glass, goblet, whatever the thing is. And it comes wrapped in a 30-inch, 18-karat gold and diamond chain. So, yes, apparently you get the, I'm assuming for $75,000 you better get the gold and diamonds. All of that stuff. So that led me to look up other drinks that are out there. And I've got a top 10 of most expensive cocktails. Now these aren't like necessarily bottles of cognac and things that are really, really aged, but I'm going to give you guys, really, what's a Bruno Mars? You guys are all over the place tonight. You're killing me. Maybe this stream has got everybody kind of a little bit delirious. Okay, let me give you the top 10 drinks and where these things are located. Before the Bruno Mars 24K cable car, which is $75,000. So at number 10, coming in as most expensive drinks, the original Mai Tai, which is the hotel in Belfast, and it was $1,200. That seems pretty reasonable. All right, are you guys good with the stream? Because I know there was some lag a little bit ago and it dropped, but I'm showing continuous that we're good. Yeah, I had several people say that the stream was in and out, that they're having some difficulty with it. So we'll give it a second. Are you guys good? Mag, you know what? I think you're right. It's like you just drink it and then it's gone very soon. All right, cool. I think we're caught up. Maybe it was just a little bit earlier. So let's go from here forward and make sure everybody is smoothed out. Hopefully we're fine at this point. Okay. Several people said it seems good for the last couple minutes. All right, let's go from this point on. All right, so the original Mai Tai, $1,200. Then there is the Ritz in Paris, which has a drink called the Sidecar, $1,670. Then you got, and Steph Richardson, you should probably know about this. This is Macallan 55 single malt. This is in Dubai at $4,000 for a shot of this. Number 7 is Salvatore's Legacy. That's at the Playboy Club in London, $6,700. Then Gigi's in London, $10K. Ono Champagne at the XS Club in Vegas, $10K. Diamonds Are Forever, Uncorked in New York. This one is interesting. So the Diamonds Are Forever is $10K, and you get a $10K engagement ring. So I'm going to stop right there. That's number 4. If you're spending $10,000 on a drink with a ring in it, I'm just speculating here. Wouldn't you think the person that you're buying a drink for would want a ring worth a little bit more than $10,000? I mean, let's be honest here. If you're spending $10,000 on a drink with a ring in it, that's like Cracker Jack box with a ring in it. You had better be buying like a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 engagement ring. Thoughts? You know what? That's a great question. So you shouldn't feel so bad about spending that $10 on that drink when you start to see some of these things. All right, there is another drink out there. I'll do 3, 2, and 1. So the Winston is at Club 23 in Melbourne. It is worth, wow, $12,000. There's also a Diamonds Are Forever Martini. Comes with a 1-carat diamond. It is $18,000. And prior to the Bruno Mars $75,000 drink, this was the most expensive drink on the menu. It is called the Ruby Rose. And it was in the White Barn Inn in Maine. $40,000 for a drink, and it comes with a 4-carat ruby in the drink. So it was $40,000. I guess Bruno Mars, just like he did at the show the other night, figured he would just show up everybody and do something so much better. So $24K cable car is the drink of choice. And you can find that at MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C. So let's move on to the next topic conversation, which is The Walking Dead, Carl, Goodbye. I know everybody's talking about the tearjerker, but I wanted to think about it from a little bit different perspective. We've seen people say it's great acting, there's good synergy, and one thing that Andrew Lincoln said is that rarely the thing that's good about the way they're writing this into it is most of the time people just get taken away from you. And Carl evidently gets a chance to say goodbye. And so I guess of all the negative that he's leaving, there is the positive of he's getting an exit that is kind of unique in Walking Dead world. But the one thing I want to talk about tonight is which person do you think is going to most regret not being able to say goodbye to Carl? And will some of these people actually be able to say goodbye to Carl? So, for example, Carol is not there. Carol's going to miss the little guy. I mean, she's grown up with Carl ever since Carol had her rough life. Maggie got cut off at the pass, and she got turned around and had to go back to Hilltop. So Maggie apparently doesn't look like she's going to be able to say goodbye to Carl. Enid is several hours away, 5 or 6 hours down the coast. So Enid's probably not going to make it back in time to say goodbye to Carl. It's possible Negan will not see Carl. So Negan and Carl have formed a weird sort of bond. And also Morgan. Morgan, I think, kind of sees Carl through his own son, Dwayne, a little bit. So I think that is going to be a little bit of sadness as well, as this is going to carry over because people are going to have to fight for Carl. Fight for whatever Carl wants. So maybe that'll make it a little bit easier to carry through his wishes. And you know how they were all sending the memos to each other? Like putting them in the mailbox and coming up with their plan of how they were going to attack Negan. So I think they're either going to have this big, huge meeting or a big funeral type of ceremony at some point, and then these people will get to see it when it's a little bit too late, and then maybe Rick will read that letter. Christina Romero, I'm not reading your comment, but it's funny. So I'm going to read a few people here. Katie says Morgan is going to be the toughest one to deal with because he won't be able to see him. A lot of people are saying Enid. It's kind of his de facto girlfriend at this point. D. Mitch says we're going to see clear Carol. Well, will we for a little bit? I mean, that's what's so tricky about this. Is the word on the streets is that Carl doesn't want them to kill anybody else. Or are they going to keep killing everybody? So Jordan Henley with Super Chat donation. Thank you so much, Jordan. I've seen a couple Super Chats that I think I missed a little bit earlier. But if you did, just type a question, and moderators, you guys can jump in on that. So Jordan Henley says, how do you think Negan will respond to Carl's death? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that, and I'm going to ask all of you to answer Jordan's question along with me, because I have my own opinion of how Negan will handle this. And I'll go ahead and give you my opinion, Jordan, and then I'll read a couple people's thoughts. So first of all, I think Negan is going to start scaling it down. I think at first they're not going to know, and they're going to have a couple more skirmishes, and then word's going to get back that Carl died, and I think Negan is going to really start to phase it out. Or there's going to be communication of what Carl wanted. The word of that. Do you guys think that the word of that letter will get back to Negan somehow? And if so, how? Wayne says, time to make peace. Some people are saying that Negan just won't care. Hippo says it could turn Negan around. Debbie Martin is going to hit Negan hard. So let me ask a follow-up, and this is something that I think could happen. Could someone, hang on before I get to that, a couple more. AJ says, I think it'll make him think about some things. Might be his downfall, though. Deborah Mooney, Negan will be devastated. Is it possible someone delivers the message? Is it possible that this hits a Rosita really hard? And Rosita basically waves a little bit of the white flag and goes to Negan and says, Carl, this is a copy of Carl's letter, or this is what Carl said. How's word going to get back to Negan? Or will it get back to Negan that Carl wanted this thing to end? Could one of the tough characters swallow their pride a little bit and really try to live through Carl? It won't be Rick immediately, because we saw Rick on the radio basically saying, you're next. Katie, I don't think it's going to be Rick, though. I still think Rick and Negan have to have that fight. And I kind of like what AJ said. And AJ, I don't want to read between the lines too much here, but if you said it would be Negan's downfall, I feel that way too. So let's all think about this for a second. And this could go 50-50. If Rick and Negan fight by themselves, who wins? No bats, no knives, no guns. Rick and Negan fight. Who wins the fight? Katie says Rick. Rick wins. I think Negan may win. I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Negan overpower Rick. Rick is tough. Negan's pretty tough too. Here's the reason I mention this. And I'm not talking about desire and passion and all of those things, which definitely are strong suits. I'm just saying, Petey, I agree with that. Rick has gotten whooped up on a few times. So I'm just a little surprised so many people say Rick. And I feel like it's because they like Rick. But the good guy doesn't always win. So if Negan could potentially... Just bear with me for a second. Okay, even if it's a draw. If Negan could beat Rick, and Negan doesn't want to fight, could that be the wild card that sort of gets us to accept Negan? If Negan throws a fight to Rick. How would you feel about Negan at that point? Like, first of all, I still hate him. I don't forgive him for what happened with Glenn and Abraham. I don't forgive him for putting the bat in Rosita's face. I just don't like him. But let's say Carl writes this letter and word gets back to Negan. And Rick wants to kill Negan, but Negan wants to end the war. Negan's starting to change, that this death of Carl actually moved him. And he gives up the fight. And Rick almost kills him and decides not to. Would Negan trying to carry out Carl's legacy be enough for us to back off him a little bit? That's the question I have for you guys. So, Lindsay, I agree with that. Every time Rick gets into a physical fight, he loses. Negan would probably win. So if Negan could win the fight and Negan loses to Rick, then maybe it's a start. I'm just giving alternatives to sort of get the writing back in line. But it's a good point, though. Rick can't beat anybody, but he can beat up Winslow's. Rick is like 2-0 versus Winslow's, and like 0-10 versus everybody else. Yeah, Jenna, I don't trust him either. I'm just doing a little searching here, just to sort of try to play it out in my head. Denise Hopkins said Rick can't fight. No, I'm not forgiving Lamont, not at all. I don't like him. I'm thinking through the scenarios, and it just, even if it happened that way doesn't mean I'll accept him. Yeah, AJ, and that's what I'm thinking. To gain acceptance with the group, he'd have to do something huge to earn it. Then honoring Carl in some way might be the start of that. I mean, I don't think that's going to be the only thing, but we'll see. We'll see how it starts to play out. Or, like Katie said, maybe Negan's going to get his own letter. Attention, Negan. Gonna have one of those like Game of Thrones pigeons to carry it over to him. All right, we got a couple more topics to go over. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this. It's just one of my pet peeves, and I keep saying it in the media. And I promise you guys, um, I don't get too involved in media, and I don't get too, and definitely we avoid politics like the plague. But there's something that keeps coming up, and it is the worst source citation that I've ever seen. It just irks me, and I don't know if you guys have one like this. But I keep seeing anonymous sources quoted, and it says, a person with knowledge of such and such thinking. You got to be kidding me. So let me put that in perspective. So we're on live streams and we're talking, and if one of you said, well, I think kilzhot this, and they're like, well, all right, we're going to write an article about it. And like, hey, my name's Steph the Cuervo Queen Richardson, but I don't want anybody to know who I am. So then they say, instead of saying who the source is, they would say, a person with knowledge of kilzhot's thinking. I don't know. You can't have a knowledge of someone's thinking. It's whatever they're thinking. You know, there's a lot of ways you could cite a source, but that one in particular just absolutely drives me nuts. Anyway, I just got to get that off my chest. I knew everything was going to be super positive. Let's move into some music stuff before I get hung up on this one too much. So last week we narrowed this thing down to, we thought it was going to be 16. We started with 32. We did have a tie. So it was, who was in the tie last week? Was it the Bee Gees and Eric Clapton? So we kind of split that up this week, and we got some pretty good matchups. We're doing all 70 stuff. We're going to roll through these things, and if we don't get to them, it's going to be like an hour-and-a-half long stream. Let's get this thing cranking. So here's the rules to the 70 showdown. We have done several of these so far. We've done the 80 showdown, we've done the 90 showdown, and we pit, if you're new, we just pick two groups, and they're pitted up against each other, and you will type in chat and vote who you think you want to move forward to the next round. So I am going to throw this stuff out there for you guys, and we'll do a very informal type of count and see who you got advancing to the next round. So let's start it out with two groups that very successful last week. The Who versus the Bee Gees. The Who versus the Bee Gees. Let's see who you got and who is going to move forward. All right, so we've got, no, you can't vote for Journey. All right, so we got the Bee Gees, the Who, Bee Gees, and the Bee Gees again. So we're absolutely tied. OU Crawfish, no Steve Perry for you. We've got the Bee Gees, 2 more with the Who, 4 more for the Bee Gees. So Disco is coming through. A.J. Jepson coming in with the Who. Chris Salisbury, Bee Gees. Hippo's like, who? Who? Of course. Bee Gees all day. That's Lamont. Zelda says the Who. Lindsay Luke says the Who. Paris says the Bee Gees. Steph Richardson is officially disqualified. You cannot type ELO. Debbie Martin coming in with the Bee Gees. KCF with the Who. Melinda says the Bee Gees. The Crawfish is the Who. Wow, you guys are... Steph, don't bring me down. See what I did there? All right, we're going to call it. It is the Bee Gees barely by just a couple. Squeaking out another cheap win. Look, you either like disco or you don't like disco. The Bee Gees squeaks it out just by a couple. And we're moving on to the next category. Lindsay Luke missed the first round. See, if Lindsay would have been here, ELO might have got another vote. And you know what, real quick, and I totally forgot to do something. Kel, you were running the Facebook page. So who was the write-in ballot that you guys picked on the 999 Random Things chat? I need to add them. Sorry. I completely forgot about that, and I do need to add them in before I do the next round. So if you guys missed last week's stream, we actually gave everybody the chance to go onto the Facebook page and write in another group. So we didn't have uneven matchups. Was it Journey? Just want to make sure before we continue. It was Journey. Okay. So we actually, one of the caveats to doing this for this coming week was that we allowed people to go and do a write-in ballot. So you know what? We are going to have, your write-in group is going to show up very shortly. So I'm going to put them, I had 3 people, now I can split up those 3. All right, good stuff. All right, so we'll get to them in a second. How about Simon and Garfunkel versus the Jackson 5? All right, everybody, this stream is acting super, super crazy tonight, but I want to get through this, so just be patient. We've got a few more matchups to get through. So it kind of cut off a little bit in the middle of that Simon and Garfunkel Jackson 5, so we're going to go back, and I'm going to ask you one more time. We've only got a few more to get through. I don't know why it's being a little, this hasn't happened in a while, but I'll check it out at the end of this. We got some technical issues coming up. But let's do this one more time. Simon and Garfunkel versus Jackson 5, if you guys can type in the sound of silence. You know what? I think you're right. You guys are too clever for me tonight. It's like deja vu, right? So deja vu, great comment. The Sound of Silence might have been Simon and Garfunkel's way of getting the edge there. All right, so Philomena starts out and says, we got 1 Simon and Garfunkel, then OU Crawfish Jackson 5. Julia's coming in Jackson 5. Simon and Garfunkel's Deborah Mooney, so we're tied. 2 more Jackson 5. Then we got Jackson 5's up by 3. Simon and Garfunkel cuts it down to 1. We got ourselves a battle here. All right, come on, we got to get some votes in. Get this thing going. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we got the Jackson 5 coming out. It looked like, honestly, when we were doing the last count, the Jackson 5 actually pulled away from them. But because the stream kind of phased in and out, I wasn't 100%. All right, get a couple more votes here, and then we will call it. Got a few more with Jackson 5, and Chevy V trying to make a late run for Simon and Garfunkel. It's Jackson 5. All right, we're going to call it there. Oh, it's like a bridge over troubled water. Simon and Garfunkel officially eliminated. One of my favorites. They are gone. All right, so your write-in ballot versus a crowd favorite at home. Let's go with Journey versus Eric Clapton. So Journey versus Eric Clapton. Let's see how many people are supporting the write-in ballot and how many people are just going old school. And we're going to get some votes starting to come in here. We've got Journey, Clapton, Journey, Clapton, 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 Journey. Journey, 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 baby, says Sheila Beasley. Scott Kernan with Journey hands down. Deborah. Wow. You guys just... Wonderful Tonight, Slow Hand, I Shot the Sheriff, it doesn't matter. Journey is running away with it. Look at this. Whoa. All right, I'm calling it. It's not even close. Journey advances to the next round. So we got the Bee Gees, Jackson 5, and Journey all moving on. Going to be some good matchups next week. A little bit of open arms. All right, AC/DC. Ooh, this one hurts. This is going to be a tough matchup. Hey, we didn't stop believing. You guys are moving right along. AC/DC versus David Bowie. I'm just having a hard time putting... I don't want to eliminate either one of them. You know what? It's still a mystery. Still, you try to see how something good can hurt so bad. All right, AC/DC and David Bowie. We've got AC/DC, Bowie, AC/DC, AC/DC, no question. Julia says Bowie. AJ Jepson says David Bowie. Michelle Wolf, AC/DC, AC/DC, Bowie. Wow, this is... Oh, hold on, we got a sudden surge. Get it? AC/DC, never mind. Bowie, Bowie, Bowie all the way. Lindsay Luke, but then Carter says AC/DC. Bowie, Bowie. Wow. What did Negan say? I simply cannot decide. I got an idea. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's a tie. All right, we're going with a tie. David Bowie and AC/DC are both advancing to the next round. I'm calling it a tie. It is an unofficial tie. I'll tell you what we're going to do with that tie in 1 minute. Unless we have another tie, which is possible. All right, moving on to the next two bands. And it is Lynyrd Skynyrd versus Aerosmith. Lynyrd Skynyrd and Aerosmith. Let's see who you guys got. Got some early Aerosmith votes. Philomeno, Aerosmith. Petey, Aerosmith. A.J. Jepson with Skynyrd. OU Crawfish, Aerosmith. Julia, Aerosmith. Pretty big lead for Aerosmith early on. Walani, Aerosmith. Hippo's like, I can't do it. Just walk away for a second, Hippo. Come back. It'll be decided for you. Skynyrd, Aerosmith, 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 Aerosmith. Lynyrd Skynyrd, 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 Skynyrd. Michelle Wolf says Skynyrd. Wayne says Skynyrd. Lindsay Luke, Aerosmith. Chris Salisbury says, I'm Florida. I'm going Skynyrd. Oh, of course, Kel says Smile as well. Aerosmith, Aerosmith, Lynyrd Skynyrd. JB says Aerosmith. Jenna Crockett, Aerosmith. Not a complete landslide, but I'm going to call it. There's enough votes in for Aerosmith. Lynyrd Skynyrd is eliminated. Aerosmith by a decent margin. A lot of Aerosmiths in there, so don't want to miss a thing with those guys. All right, we got Aerosmith moving on to the next round. So far we got Journey, Bee Gees, Jackson 5, AC/DC, and Bowie tied. And Aerosmith eliminates Lynyrd Skynyrd. All right, two totally different styles of music, and I have to say I like them both. It's a tough matchup, but you're going to get some of that from time to time. How about Fleetwood Mac versus Led Zeppelin? Fleetwood Mac and Led Zeppelin. This one's tough too. Hopefully we got that in. Fleetwood Mac and Led Zeppelin, everybody. Wow, we got to get through these last four. All right, so some people are popping back up. Fleetwood Mac versus Led Zeppelin. Philomeno says Fleetwood Mac. AJ says Led Zeppelin. People are popping back in. OU Crawfish says Zeppelin. Chris Salisbury, Zeppelin. Paris says Fleetwood Mac. Zeppelin, 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 Zeppelin for sure. Villar says Fleetwood Mac. Led Zeppelin. Donna says Fleetwood Mac. Kel's like neither. You can't pick neither. Pat says three Fleetwood Macs in a row. Getting a little bit closer. However, I'm going to call it Led Zeppelin. Enough early votes. So Led Zeppelin is moving on to the next round. Let me get through these a little bit quicker because this crazy stuff going on with the stream tonight. All right. How about we only got 3 more to go, and then we will be through it. Just bear with me, everybody. Just a little bit longer. Okay, everybody, next matchup is going to be the Doors versus the Eagles. So down to the last 3, Doors and Eagles. So quickly, give me your votes. There must be like a monsoon or something coming in. Or a software update. Who knows? We'll get to the bottom of this. All right, the Doors versus the Eagles. So who you guys got? Doors, Eagles. All right, we got Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. Couple Doors. Eagles, Eagles up 5. Couple Doors fans. A ton of Eagles fans. Look at this. They just come out of the woodwork. All right, and we're going to call it with the Eagles. So 2 more to go, and quick matchup. We're going to go Elton John versus Kiss. Elton John and Kiss really quickly. Give me your totals before YouTube jumps in here again. All right, so we got Elton John versus Kiss, everybody. Elton Johnson. This stream has got me so messed up tonight. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough competing with when it cuts in and out. So really quickly, Elton John versus Kiss. I'm giving up here. Can we do it? Can we get through these last 2? All right, so we got a lot of early Kiss votes. We've lost half our stream, so we're not going to get we're probably not going to get the full amount of votes here. All right, looks like Kiss in a landslide. All right, and one more matchup. Please, YouTube, please stay away. Kiss pretty dominant there. Last matchup of the night is going to be Rolling Stones versus Pink Floyd. I got a feeling, because I'm familiar with the thinking of most of my viewers. See what I did there? Rolling Stones versus Pink Floyd. Last matchup of the night. Let's see who we got. We've got Stones, Pink Floyd, Stones, Pink Floyd. We're tied. Floyd, Stones, Stones, Pink Floyd, still tied. Stones, Pink Floyd, Stones, Pink Floyd, Floyd. Wow. Stones, Floyd, Pink Floyd, Stones. And once again, you know what? We got another close one. So we've got another tie. So we're going to advance both these to the next round, and that's going to be perfect. So it gives us one extra matchup. So really quickly, I know some people gave up, and they've had trouble with the stream all night. So we're going to do a special announcement. So I am going to do something really, really random here. And it's too bad to stream like buzzed out, because we'll have to do this again. So I want everybody to type a number between 1 and 40. Type a number between 1 and 40. It is random things. We've had random topics, and we're going to do one more random thing. Everybody in the stream, just participate. A number between 1 and 40. We've got some 37, some Maggie coming in with 13. We got some 25s, some 4s. Keep going, everybody. OU Crawfish coming in at 18. 13, everybody's favorite number. And Carter Mitchell. I'm going to scroll up here. So Carter Mitchell typed the number 14. And correct me if I'm wrong. Moderators, can you scroll up, see if anybody typed 14 before Carter? I don't think so. I think he was the first one. $14 was my number, so I just want to make sure it was Carter Mitchell. All right, we're confirmed. All right, Carter is it. So Carter, you have won a 999 t-shirt. We don't have a lot of those, but we are going to give them away a little bit more often. There's going to be random ways that we do them. Tonight the stream was very choppy, so I just want to do some random numbers. We will mix it up from time to time. Here's the deal. If you guys ever get called on for a Random Things prize, a Walking Dead prize, or a t-shirt, Steph, the Cuervo Queen, she is the queen of all of our awards. She's done a really good job. She's put together some of these t-shirts. They're really nice t-shirts. A couple ways you can message her on the Facebook fan page, or Kik. You can message her through Kik, give her your information, and she's going to make sure that you get a 999 Random Things t-shirt. So good job with that, Carter. There'll be some other things that we give out. I wanted to take a moment and appreciate all of you guys being patient, being resilient tonight. I'm assuming it's a YouTube issue or a software update that I'm going to have to go back. I hate when these streams get interrupted. But thank you so much. I appreciate you guys spending the time. When people hit the playback, it's continuous, so they don't go through the buffering, obviously. But when we're here trying to struggle through it live, it is always an inconvenience. And I want to thank all of you guys, one, for showing up every night. I appreciate all you guys being a part of this channel. And number two, when we do have some of this technical stuff and we're doing it live, it is a little bit distracting. But thank you so much, and congratulations, Carter. Get in touch with Steph, and you guys appreciate also the voting that you did on the Facebook page. We'll do some additional contest where we'll do a survey and ask you guys to jump in there. So you guys got a little taste of it last week. You got a little taste of Random Things and some of the prizes we're going to continue to give away. So thank you so much. Appreciate everybody being here. And now we're going to wind this thing up. If you're watching the playback, the closing credits are there. If you're still here and you managed to get through some of the difficulties, give me a quick 999, and appreciate all of you guys contributing to the topics. If you have a topic you want to talk about during the week, send me a message on Kik at KILZHOT and say, hey, Kills, I think this would be a good Random Things topic. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I think about The Walking Dead. Just drop me a random line. Everybody else, just throw a quick 999 in there, and I want to do some shout-outs and just say thank you for everything that you guys do, and we'll wind this thing down. So Hippo, thanks for being here tonight. Scott Kernan, appreciate you being here. Debbie Martin, Maggie Bonacorda. Kel says smile, of course. Emmy, Desiree Bacon, Tommy Sweetass, and Forcer McCandless. A special shout out once again. I want to say thank you to Steph Richardson. She does a lot of work on the side, and sent out some shirts with the previous drawing that we did to a lot of people, and actually sent out a couple Walking Dead extras as well. So she just does a tremendous job. So thank you so much, Steph. Appreciate that. Also want to say thanks. Appreciate you guys being here. Anakin, appreciate you. Emma, Julia, Paris, Deborah Mooney, Lamont G, Katie, thanks for being here. Jake Turgeon, AJ Jepson, Lindsay Luke, thank you so much. Walani, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Donna Sowards, Melinda Kettler, thank you. OU Crawfish, and thank you for that pre-broadcast super chat donation. So appreciate that. Patty Casey, thanks. Sheila Beasley. Northside Queen, thank you so much. Lenore Smith, appreciate you being here. Valar, thanks for being here. Carter, two ways. One, if you have a Kik account, you want to, you can sign up for Kik, and you can look me up, KILZHOT, and I'll get you in touch with Steph. Or you can get onto the Facebook page, and she can send you that information on the Facebook fan page. Facebook 999 Army. Walking Dead Army. Beth Brigette, thanks for being here as well. Thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate you being here. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. Yeah, the stream kind of killed me a little bit tonight. Or, Carter, worst case scenario, if you can't, if you don't have a Kick account and you can't figure that out, message me on YouTube. Just go to my main page, send me a message, and send me your information. I'll get it over to Steph. And obviously, there's going to be some, you're going to have to give her your address. So if you don't feel comfortable doing that and you don't have an address you want it sent to, then unfortunately you can't win the shirt. And I get that if people want to maintain that privacy, but of course we got to have the information in order to send it out to you. All right, everybody, thanks so much. It's been an hour. The stream should have been over about 10 or 15 minutes ago. If I missed you in a shout out, I will catch you tomorrow night when we do the Walking Dead stream. I'm going to go figure out what is up with YouTube. Thanks once again, everybody. Peace.